This is a series about life, about death, about life after death. This is Diana King. She died at the age of 54 from cancer.
Okay, so we'll just check her ID.
Okay.
Her body is about to undergo an extraordinary process.
Personal possessions, no jewellery.
Okay. 1, 2, 3.
Because Diana is one of 700 people a year who donate their bodies to science.
There you go.
These will be used as tools for training anatomy and medical students, and by surgeons practicing pioneering procedures. In a UK television first, with unprecedented access to donors, we follow the last months of their lives and their journey after death.
Get rid of these horrendous roots, get rid of my flicky fringe. Yeah. I know, I've never had a fringe. Well, do you remember when it grew back curly after the first lot of chemo? Well, my fringe gets to a certain length and it goes curly now.
Today is very special for 54-year-old nurse Diana. She's having a party and wants to look her best. Diana is dying.
What time is it actually?
7ish onwards, totally informal. Yeah, well at once, so if you want to get dressed up, get dressed up. If you don't, don't. Yeah.
5 years ago, she was diagnosed with breast cancer. She had chemotherapy and went into remission.
It's just sort of like seeing everybody there together that sort of like means something, and just sort of like people being happy, so yeah, that should be good.
But a year ago, the cancer returned and spread.
Really hit depression, major anger, massive anger. This wasn't going to happen. I wasn't going to allow it to happen. I'd beaten cancer once. I was going to beat cancer again. Except this time I wasn't. And that's where I went into complete denial, because the CT scan showed there was extensive spread, heart, lungs, sternum, lymph nodes, and I just thought, you were taking no prisoners. And I was told 6 months, and my life changed completely. It's the last 3 weeks it's been really.
Yeah, but that's temporary. It's just because you've been really down.
It's a very fatal feeling. I wouldn't say it's panic. It's like suddenly you've hit that wall and that's it. Or you can see that wall coming and you can't stop it. That's the nearest I can describe it. You don't want it to be. It's not going to be. But you can't do anything about it.
Diana's husband and daughter are making last-minute party preparations.
Just going to put this over here.
Okie doke. That's not straight. Your side needs to go down a bit. And then shall we put some balloons on the lights over there and on the other ones?
Yes, can do.
Mum was like my world when I was growing up. She brought me up on her own, which was hard. She worked 2 or 3 jobs. She took me to school. She only just made ends meet, but I never saw any of that. You know, Christmases were good, birthdays were amazing, everything was happy. Celebrating Diana's big bash.
These don't want writing on the other, it's the other ones, I'll go and get them.
All right.
I met Diana at a pub in Accrington. We had a few drinks and it was the following Saturday that we started really seeing each other. And we hit it off. We got married on the 6th of April 1994. So it's been 20 years.
I'll put a white one there.
Diana and her family didn't think she would see this day. A year ago, she was given 6 months to live.
We've got one more white one, and how many blue ones have we got?
One more, I think, yeah.
She's beaten her prognosis. The party is also a celebration of the fact that she's stolen a few extra months of life.
Whether she was fit for it or not, she was determined for this party to go ahead. And she's going to be here. She'll not be bopping away, but she'll be here. She'll be saying hello to everybody and having a laugh.
But the effort is taking its toll.
Still tired, but a little less and better when painkillers kick in, to be honest. And my back just doesn't appear to support itself anymore.
You can see the cancer in my mum every day. It starts off with little things like weight loss, being tired, breathlessness. But ultimately I'm watching her die.
Diana doesn't want death to be the end of her story. She's taken the decision to donate her body to science. There are 19 institutes across the UK that accept donated bodies for research and training. Diana's body will go either to the University of Liverpool, where she'll be used to teach anatomy students.
Body donation is very important. For example, in teaching, we believe that it's essential that medical students and anatomy students get the opportunity to dissect. That's the best way that they can learn about the structures of the human body.
Or she'll go to Newcastle, where her body will be used to train surgeons.
Without people donating their bodies, we would have to rely on simulators and trainees practicing on live patients in the operating room. With the bodies that have been donated to our unit, we can allow them access to performing all of the minor and major procedures without putting patients' lives in danger.
In this country, we don't talk about death enough. We don't consider the impact that's needed for not just for organ donation, but for body donation as well as for research and teaching. When I first heard about body donation, I felt that I could be of a bit more use, and it gave me something to hold on to make sense of a death that I still feel is going to come too early.
When Diana announced she was donating her body, her family reacted badly.
I got a bit upset at this, and we had words which was wrong at the end of the day, but I just said to her, I says, I can't accept it, because it's just unusual.
When Mum first talked about body donation, people were shocked. It was a bit too out there. The ones closest to her still, I don't think, fully have got the head round it.
Diana's made her decision. The only question for her now is how to make the most of the time she has left.
Thank you so much for coming. Yeah, that's lovely. Got the flat shoes on. I know, I'm boring am I know. I can't get the heels on.
Tonight's party isn't just a birthday party.
Thank you so much. Happy birthday. Thank you. You look well.
It's Diana's last chance to say goodbye to some of the most important people in her life.
A lot of special people are here. Polly Wilson, you look fantastic.
Those eyes is fine.
It's contact lenses and morphine.
You look lovely. You look amazing.
Oh, I wish I felt it. I must admit, I'm so tired, yeah? But I'm here, and that's the most important thing.
She's touched a lot of people's lives and she's inspired a lot of people, but it's a double-edged sword. It's still there and you still physically can see it.
All right, sweetheart, I love you too. Okay.
Every day we pretend it's not happening for our own sanity and for Mum's sake. None of us cope. We all have private moments and we all struggle.
Yeah, we'll be all right. Just like to say to everybody, thank you very much for making the effort to come here. It means a lot to me. I'm not going to get sentimental, but this is a birthday that I didn't expect to see, but it's absolutely fantastic to see you all here, friends and neighbours and family, and you're all extremely special to me. You have a big place in my heart. You're all very, very special. Thank you.
Thank you, Diana.
Diana and Wayne share the last dance.
It's brought us together. At first, no disrespect to Wayne, I thought he's not going to cope with this. He's coming to terms with it now, I think.
She's a fighter, but there will come a time when she can fight as much as she wants, it won't make any difference. And I just feel at the moment I'm in limbo. I'm just waiting for it to happen. And I don't want it to happen.
Some body donors have less time to come to terms with death. Every year, hundreds of people sign up to bequeath their bodies. But not all have the chance to discuss their decision or put their lives in order. 77-year-old Mike lives alone. He has terminal cancer.
Have I had a fulfilling life? I've been very selfish in the fact that I've led the life that I wanted to lead. I was diving for 50 years and I enjoyed every minute of exploring the seabed where man may have not gone before.
His daughter Anne lives in Chicago.
He, I think, came to a point where he realised he'd missed out on a lot of our lives. I knew he loved us. He just came from that generation where parents, when they divorced, often, they were absentee parents.
Just under 6 months ago, Mike was diagnosed with acute myeloid leukemia, a blood cancer.
I was told I had got about 12 weeks to live. And it really did surprise me, the fact that the impact it had on me. I didn't think I would be as moved as much as I was.
Mike's outlived his prognosis, but knows that time is very short.
I'm not having any more treatment other than the few tablets I'm now taking. and the blood transfusions, which are every 2 weeks, and I suppose that's keeping me going.
He's had to make some quick and difficult decisions. But one of them was easy.
It's not that I can fight off death, but I knew I had to plan for one day that it would happen. And I thought the best way of handling it easily and simply, where I hope that I can be of more use, is if I donate it to science. I just rang up Liverpool and they put me through. It was as simple as that.
Sometimes donors will ring up exactly knowing what they want to do. They've been talking to a friend or a neighbour that's done it. Sometimes they'll do it because they don't want to fuss. They don't want their family to have any worry at the time of their death. So it'll all be sorted by the university.
As a bit of a fractured family, I think it was part of Michael's thinking that it would be easier for us if he made this plan. And, once he'd set on this plan, that's what he wanted. So I think there was some element of him considering us in that too.
I have no future, but maybe 10, 20, 30 years down the line, with the research that's going on, and providing they have the remains to work on, and enough bodies are donated, something just might happen.
Just a few days after this interview, Mike's condition began to deteriorate. He was admitted to Bangor Hospital. It's been 9 days since Diana's party. Diana and Wayne are in Scotland for a special occasion.
We got married on the 6th of April 1994. We've been up to Gretna Green every year except for 2. We renewed vows 10 years ago, and now this one, 20 years.
Hiya. Yes, please.
Since the party, Diana's been feeling much better.
Okay, so you're in Adam and Eve, and I'll just take you up and show you to your room.
Thank you very much.
Lovely, thank you. It's been not the easiest of marriage. We've had lots of ups and downs, but we have survived and we have come through together. Wayne's been very, very supportive over the last year, which has been a little bit difficult to say the least, and he has come through, and that's sort of like made me quite happy, really. There's always at the back of your mind that this is possibly the last time that I will be here. I can't pretend it's not there. I've learnt to live with it a little bit now, and I either give into it and don't do anything, or I am trying now to do all the things in my life that I've wanted to do.
The only thing that they haven't got, unless it's in the sporran, is a skidoo. Ah, yes. It's not a real one. I think the first time when we first got married, it was a real one. They don't trust us with knives anymore, thankfully.
Today is a celebration of their marriage, but it's also a realisation of how Wayne's life will change.
When she's gone, and I miss her. Even though we argue and fight sometimes, I'll miss her. Because I've been with her for 20 odd years. 22 years. And it's hard. Should ever. This time last year, I must admit we didn't know whether she'd be here or not, but she is, and that's the main thing that counts.
Wayne, will you continue to love, comfort and honour Diana, to be her companion through all the joys and sorrows and pains of life, and be faithful to her so long as you both shall live?
I will.
Diana, will you continue to love, comfort and honour Wayne, be his companion through all the joys and pains of life, and be faithful to him so long as you both shall live?
I will.
Can you take Diana's right hand in your right hand? Diana,
Diana,
on the day of our marriage,
on the day of our marriage,
I took you to be my wedded wife.
I took you to be my wedding wife.
For better, for worse,
For better, for worse,
for richer, for poorer,
for richer, for poorer,
in sickness and in health,
for sickness and in health,
to love and to cherish,
to love and to cherish,
from that day forward,
that day forward,
until we are parted by death.
until we are parted by death.
And this I reaffirm that solemn vow.
This I affirm that solemn vow.
As you, Diana, now take Wayne's right hand. Wayne, on the day of our marriage, I took you to be my wedded husband. For richer, for poorer, in sickness and in health, to love and to cherish, from that day forward, until parted by death. And today I affirm that solemn vow.
And I'm not solemn.
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
The renewal of wedding vows has been a turning point for Diana. It's refocused her on living rather than dying.
Gradually, the anger went away and I started to come to terms with things, and I needed to look forward to the future.
That fascinator looks fabulous, doesn't it?
I thought, right, I take a grip of this now and I start looking at what I want to do with the last months of my life, and I start to take those choices back.
Three weeks ago, Diana renewed her wedding vows. That and an improvement in her health has given her a new drive. The trip to the zoo with her daughter wouldn't have been possible just a few weeks ago.
So how are you feeling today, Mum?
Okay, quite good. Pain levels over the last 2 or 3 days have really improved.
Yeah.
Really quite strange. They've changed from that thoracic area, and although it's coming round and banding and going up to my shoulder, it's meant that I can walk a lot better.
Which is good,
So,
and that's what you want.
Well, I want to make most of, really. You know, I want to try and be me for as long as possible, really.
You're beautiful.
There you go.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
We've both kind of been brought up with animals and this mutual love of them, and Mum's obviously been on safari, so this is like the closest that we can kind of get and do it together, and it's more things to look back and share, you know. And like, I've never met a pelican before, and the fact that they go ha ha when they're being fed is fantastic. It's something different that you're not going to get to do every day, you know, that you can cherish and go, this is great.
Yeah, I think it's good to have that kind of feeling.
Yeah. My mum is a very proud person, and she won't let the world see what's going on inside. And it is like a cup of warm milk that's got a film on top of it, and once you poke your finger through that film, that's your emotions underneath, and your film's what the rest of the world sees, that everything's fine.
Been told to cry, told it to release, but it feels like you're giving into it a little bit. I do cry. I cry in the shower. Yeah. Nobody can see that. I'm not that strong. Yeah.
You want to come up with me?
So even on a day like today, you know, it's happy and it's good, but I know tonight she'll go home and cry because it's one last thing that we've done together, and it's one more special memory that is going to be the final thing.
They will just, like, if you just pick it up and then feed it over your shoulder, or they'll take it. Like,
Ow, 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 ow. It likes you, it's got your hair.
Oh, you're amazing.
Hi.
Oh, a kiss. Thank you. Things are a bit different now, aren't they? And things mean a bit more.
You do?
But in a nice way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I will sleep tonight. I am tired.
So will I.
It's just 2 weeks since the trip to the zoo, but it seems a world away. Diana's pain has returned. She's seeing her oncologist.
Hello, Diana. How have you been getting on?
My back, that gnawing pain has been getting worse. Okay. So I've been needing to take more and more through that. It feels like I've either been scalded or a nettle.
And it's just on the right side, or
just
is it on the other side as well?
No. Touch is really, really sensitive.
When the cancer came back, she was prescribed the drug tamoxifen.
Yeah.
And you're coping with the treatment with the tamoxifen?
I've not gone back on it. Right, I'll be honest about that. It's don't get me wrong. I feel well enough now to go back on it, so I will go back on it because it, you know, it does look like it's shrunk things down, doesn't it?
It has altered things.
Yeah.
So what are you on for the pain at the moment?
At the moment, 20 milligram morphine twice a day, 150 pregabalin, paracetamol through the day. I'm sort of like going every 6 hours with that. My hospice nurse phoned up and I felt a bit rubbish, so I told her about the pain. This morning, she's brought up one of the doctors from hospice. He's told me different ways that they can go with pain relief. So he asked me originally to come in for a couple of days into hospice, but I don't want to. No, I really don't want to.
A year ago, Diana was admitted to a hospice for specialist pain management, but found it tough.
They tried to get me involved in the groups and the activities that they provide, which are good. But the first group that I went to, I came across a patient that less than 6 months ago I'd been looking after on my ward, and I found that really difficult to take. I think it's the realisation that you are ill and you're now terminally ill isn't something that I particularly want to think about. The other odd thing that's happened, I've lost sensation in the bottom part of my jaw. Just like when you go to dentists and you're injected, it's from there just up to my mouth is completely numb. The hospice doctor said he felt that it possibly needed further investigation.
In your case, it's always better to get a scan and rule things out.
Yeah.
We should do another scan of your brain, and I think we'll concentrate on the base of the skull. If there is anything, that's where I would expect the lesion to be.
Okay.
And I think we'll just do an MR scan of your spine, throwing that in, just to make sure that everything is still okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'll get the scans in the pipeline. They should be done in the next month, and we'll discuss the results.
While Diana waits for the scan, there's something important she's determined to sort out.
Well, today I'm meeting Andrew Horsfall, who's the hospital chaplain, and basically It's to discuss final arrangements for memorial service. In view of the body donation, my family won't get my body back for a considerable length of time after my death. I feel if I have a memorial service, which I want to be a happy one, a celebration of my life rather than a funeral as such, then this will hopefully give them closure. Everything to do with this memorial service, there's got to be some sort of a connection. I've worked here for over 10 years and the chapel is a place that I feel is very, very peaceful and it fits me. So that's the reason why I want it here. I've written everything down.
Yeah.
Certain things I need to ask you, whether it's appropriate, whether it's too long.
Yeah.
A couple of things, can they be done, can they not be done?
Right,
All
of course.
that type
Yeah,
of thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. Just
Okay.
share the ideas that you've got and then we'll
I will do.
we can take it from there, really.
Right, okay. Basically, what's going to happen, obviously there'll be no body and there's going to be sort of big spray of red roses that sort of like represents me.
Yes.
And red roses, why? It's a symbol of love and basically this service is about me wanting to say to the people that hear that I love you. I don't want to be saying goodbye to them as such.
Yeah.
I'll move on to my family next. This bit's hard, okay? I especially want to say to my family that I hope always to be with you. And these words are hard to write.
Yeah.
And no matter what, I'll always be there. And I feel this strongly. And I can't, and I won't say goodbye.
There you go.
Okay.
Right. So how did it go today then?
Okay. Slightly emotional in bits.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody's been put in a situation that nobody wants to be put into. It's a terminal diagnosis. Yeah.
It's a reality that Wayne also has to face.
Not the sort of thing you want to think about just yet.
It needs doing now though, doesn't
Yeah.
it? And you can't, this is something that can't be left till last minute.
No, it can't, no.
It was hard initially for my husband Wayne when I started making inquiries because it confronted him that this was happening.
Diana's visit to the chaplain has forced them to have a frank conversation about her death.
I mean, if you'd have died normally in bed or something like that without...
Well, I will die normally in bed. It's
No, you know what I mean,
not going to make any difference
without
to how I
cancer or
die.
anything like that, and you were just to die a normal death or something like that, then you wouldn't have organised your funeral.
Well, nobody would if they didn't know they were going to die. You know, I didn't want to face it. I didn't want to go down and do all of that. It's not easy because it makes it real to me.
Yeah.
And I'm saying goodbye to everybody.
I know you are.
Yeah. So...
And everybody's saying goodbye to you.
Yeah.
I hope to God that when things do finally happen, that I can handle it. I know I'll be in tears. I know that what she's doing is a good thing. I think to myself, will I manage? I should do. I've got lots of friends and family that's there to back me up. But I'm dreading that time.
Good morning, bequeathal office. Dee speaking. Oh, I'm really, really sorry. And when was that? Oh, I am sorry. So do you know when the death certificate will be signed? Will it be sometime this morning?
I had this text from the heart nurse who said, you need to call me now. She told me that he'd passed away about half an hour before, but it was still a shock, even knowing how sick he was and knowing that he was very frail.
Okay, just IV the body now. So this is Mr. Michael Bowie. Yep, it's fine.
As Mike's life ends, his body is beginning a new adventure.
We've just received the donor, so we're just checking the paperwork to check the identification. And we're going to take the body up to the mortuary.
They thought he'd had an internal bleed, which is what the consultant warned me would be the outcome for somebody with this illness. If there wasn't a big episode like a heart attack, that it would be a hemorrhage of some sort.
Mike has been accepted as a body donor at the University of Liverpool. His body will be used to teach anatomy students. But first, he needs to be prepared for class.
It's changed. The department's really quiet. It's normally really busy, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Saturday, it's weekend.
I know. I'm here at the hospital today for an MRI scan. When I was on holiday, I've lost feeling in the lower part of my face, which may be something and nothing, or maybe something serious.
I'm here.
It's mixed feelings, two sides of the coin, a little bit of trepidation in case there has been some progression.
You just close your eyes now.
But also I'm going to know exactly what's going on, and then I can know what to expect.
Do a really good job there. Very good. Is everything okay there, Mrs. King?
Yeah, thank you, it's fine.
So we're just going to do the first scans. If you try not to swallow or take any big sighs for these ones, okay? Nice and still. The doctor says that she has some metastases in her spine, so we're just making sure that that's not compressing the spinal cord and might lead to pain in her back.
Diana's had a good couple of months, but the scan will reveal what the future holds.
There's some changes in there, so we just want to make sure that it's not sort of compressing the spine at all, so I'm just planning some extra pictures through there. And just very still for the next 4 minutes. You're doing really well.
I don't know what I'm going to be facing. If it does progress, it could be quite nasty. I'm not a brave person. Yeah, I'm scared.
Diana's pain is getting worse.
I'm not quite as positive as what I'd like to be. For the last 2 weeks, the pain's increased, and that's meant doing very little. So I'm hoping today that Dr. Appel may be able to help a little bit.
Best friend Kath is taking Diana to the oncologist as Wayne has to work. He's hoping to join them later.
I've got a few issues with pain.
Where is the pain?
It's here.
Yeah.
Yeah, down my back. It's aggravated with movements.
I think the reason
why your pain is getting worse is that your scan has got worse.
Okay.
The scan on the brain was absolutely fine,
Right.
but the scan on the back, the bones have become a bit more involved with the cancerous cells. It's spread to other vertebrae. So I think whatever we've been doing in terms of trying to hold the cancer isn't working. We've really only tried one thing, haven't we? And that's tamoxifen. So we need to think of something that you can tolerate and that will regain control of the cancer again.
Regarding tamoxifen, I didn't take it probably for a period of about 6 weeks. Would that have made any difference? No.
No, not in the great scheme of things.
Right, okay.
No, don't worry about that. Okay.
Yeah.
We can try a different hormone treatment or to try some form of chemotherapy treatment.
Will I lose my hair again?
No, we can use a chemotherapy drug that doesn't make you lose your hair.
Right, okay.
I think number one priority is to get your pain controlled. Will probably be best to get that done in the hospice setting.
I know, it's just been away from family.
I know, but if you think in the longer term, having a week in the hospice now, you might then be functioning much better for your family because your pain is controlled.
I know I've got to get my head around this. I'm not going through a good phase at the moment because I'm feeling that, no, I don't want this cancer. I'm not going to have this cancer. I want it to go away and everything be all right, and I can't do that. The hospice does remind me of the fact that, yeah,
You have a cancer.
Yeah.
If I contacted the hospice, would you be okay?
Yeah, I would much rather be at home, but if it can get things sorted out quicker, then
it would certainly
I'm
be
struggling.
much quicker.
Yeah.
And I think you are struggling. I can see that.
Pain-wise.
Come on.
She did still say it could still be years. So
Mike died 4 days ago. In just a week's time, he'll be used in the anatomy students' dissection class.
We don't tend to concentrate on the donor as a person that has lived in the past, because we would find that upsetting as staff.
To prepare him for dissection, Mike must first be washed and embalmed.
I will remember Michael, actually, as my friend. There's always things that you should have said or didn't say, or maybe you didn't say enough, but I don't think that I have any unfinished business with Michael. I think that was the good thing about our relationship, was that we were pretty honest with each other. The more you talk to people about body donation, the more you understand that it is a really great gesture. I'm certainly very proud of his gesture. I think it's an example to us as a family. It's certainly an example to me.
What we do here is we preserve the body for possibly for use for up to 3 years.
Before that 3 years, they will then go for cremation or burial. So we actually need them to last with us that long. So our embalming process will allow us to keep them for that long. The actual makeup of the embalming fluid is a small amount of formaldehyde. We also use methanol, phenol, and then diluted right down with water. So we just make a small incision there.
The process that we use here is that we insert a cannula and we introduce the embalming fluid, and that mixes with the blood and fixes.
It's a lot like a blood transfusion really, where the fluid will enter into the femoral artery, but as the femoral vein is open, we'll allow the blood to come out as the fluid is being passed through. And then using the string on the other side, make a small incision. Then tie that off just with a single knot. We'll use some clamps just as the string probably isn't quite strong enough just to hold them in there.
What we want to do is to preserve everything that's inside the body, so that when we do come to use our donor, the heart, the lungs, the liver are all preserved as they were.
After all the blood then comes out, some of the fluid will then release, but we still keep pumping that fluid through to make sure that all the cells throughout the whole body are fixed. The process now is going really, really smoothly. We're just going to stay around for another few hours just to make sure the fluid's going in perfectly, and then we'll carry on the process tomorrow. By the end of tomorrow, I think it'll be perfectly embalmed.
I think it's just hard to imagine that he's not really in Bangor, in his house, in his chair, looking out over the harbour there. I don't think I've yet got to that point where I really believe he's not there anymore.
I do feel that I've took one step nearer to death, and the best way I can describe it is that I am now on a different road to everybody else around me.
I'm not going to be able to feel her. I'm never ever going to get a hug, and that's horrible.
So as this is your first dissection, if anybody is feeling ill during this, please let us know. It's actually quite common that people will faint.
And that's next Tuesday at 9 here on Channel 5. Next tonight, CSI, the last ever episode.